I've been associated with MMA for many years now, and I think the role of MMA has shifted. There was a phase during which, as MMA, we were evangelizing the medium, and we were really talking about the why mobile aspect. And we need to switch gears now and begin to talk of the how mobile. How do we actually begin to make it work? So whether it is media partners, whether it is the mobile practitioners, whether it's agencies, brands, to educate the entire ecosystem on making sure that they're able to build processes, systems, tools, and creativity, the whole works to make mobile come to life. So I would say shift from why mobile to how mobile.
See, I think MMA has a very important role. This is still a nascent media. Okay, everybody wants to do more, but sometimes they don't know what to do. Different companies, organizations are in different levels, of evolution. So I think what MMA can do much more specifically is sharing best practices among clients, advertisers, media agencies of what are the mobile initiatives which have really driven business success. The more people read about it, the more people interact, the more they will find themselves converting to the mobile medium. So that would be one definite ask I would have of MMA. The second one is, one of the things which holds everybody back is the lack of a very clear and transparent measurement system of mobile spends and the ROI on that. So the more MMA can work with agencies, with media partners, with media houses to really give a very transparent view to the advertisers about what are they getting for all their spend, I think they will find that the adoption of the medium will be far more.
Firstly, I think MMA needs to help evangelize, mobile as a marketing tool and help educate stakeholders, share learning, share best practices from what's happening in other markets, and I think help improve the overall, digital and mobile quotient in the industry. So I would really put that as priority number one. Priority number two, I think, would be in the area of measuring effectiveness, because in my experience, it's easier to pitch an idea or to pitch a medium to an advertiser if you can also measure what impact that idea or medium is going to have. And since we still haven't really developed clear benchmarks in this market, I think MMA would do a good job in taking the lead there. Thirdly, I think MMA should also look at the creative community that actually creates content and messaging for mobile, because at the end of the day, the communications business is an ideas business, and until we get the right kind of creative and content and ideas on mobile, whenever ever going to be leveraging it fully. So I would list out these three as the priority areas.
One is, I think it was definitely very meaningful to have MMA India to share more on the best practices from brand advertiser, from agency, from ad platform company, from publisher. The good cases or the good campaigns that really deliver the answer to the marketing objectives from mobile. I think that's the first thing that the people can learn from. More workshop, education programs, or even certifications, right? For the young talents in the industry, you certify them, you train them to become mobile marketing experts, and that would be the other good thing that MMA could do.
It's a great thing that MMA has done this forum in India, and we are looking at far more insights into the whole device called mobile, which is the device that is today the closest to the consumer. So I think consumer understanding what kind of creativity and experiential really drives consumer engagement, as well as what is the analytics part of it, from a mobile perspective, as to whether it is to do with location, it's to do with the DNA of the consumer, or whether it's to do with the behavior of the consumer. These are 3-4 things that if there were enough examples of various other brands, whether it's from other marketplaces or India, which would actually give us far more insights into how mobile would progress in the country.
The key 3 initiatives which I would want MMA to work on is create a lot of awareness amongst the ecosystem. As a marketer myself, I strive to find those pockets of excellence in agencies across network, where people come on board with skills, strengths, and experience and ideas across the entire mobile marketing value chain. We are still encumbered with legacy of TV as a medium of advertising. That is one. Second, I would want to see a lot of participation from more stakeholders, namely e-commerce guys, namely instant messengers guys, right? I mean, India is the largest growth market as far as e-retailing is concerned, as far as Facebook and Google is concerned, right? So we need to have those insights on board as to, what is happening on FB, on Flipkart, Myntra, Snapdeal, Amazons of the world.
I would love MMA to do more education on mobile marketing. There are a lot of people out there who still don't know a lot about mobile and just see it as something that's bolted in at the end of a planning stage for a campaign, so that mobile should be baked into the creative and media strategy from the very start. So more education, more conferences like this in other regions.
Key initiatives that MMA should work on. One of the main things is just the education of the medium as such. I think that is something which is kind of lacking. So one is educating about the medium. Second thing is the youth. Bringing on the younger people, teaching them what mobile is all about. Getting enough of a pool of people who we can then, as agencies, as clients, etc., take on board as we go on into the future. So that's another thing that we can do. And third is just kind of more events like this where all of us try to get together, try to get on the same platform, learn things that are coming up new as well.
I think the first and foremost is if we can actually take the SMOC study, help establish the effectiveness and the measurement and the ROI of mobile spends, and if we can do it with one or two brands, then it will give credibility to the industry. The second is education. I do believe there is a lot that is desired from an education perspective across the ecosystem. It's not any one part of the ecosystem. So if we can build content to educate all of the ecosystem, primarily our brands who are target segment, that will help. And third, but not the least, is really defining what this ecosystem looks like, who are the players and how can they work with each other. I think collaboration is really going to be a key driver for the growth of the industry.